welcome back to the channel. My name's Nicole and this is Darvanalee Design Studio, and today we are here for DDs Flosstube episode 108, so let's get started. Well, good morning or good evening everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you for taking some time out of your day and spending it with me while I prattle on about the things that I've been cross-stitching. If you are new here, welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by, and please consider while you're here hitting that subscribe button and the little bell icon beside it, and then that way you won't miss out on any future posts. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back and spending some more time with me again this week. Alright, so we are here for episode 108. This year I am working my bingo prompts. We have a short that goes up every Sunday, and basically what happens is I roll the dice and then a prompt of our prompt sheet is called out, and that's what we work on for the week. So the prompt that I am going to be showing you today was for stitch for 30 minutes a day on a whip that has flowers in it, and I chose to have stitch on cinnamon stars, and then I've also worked on my snow village as well, because I'm doing that as a stitch with me, and I'm also working on it during the week as well. Excuse me, I have not got any work done on my Red Dragon HAED this week because I have been busy prepping stuff and organising magazine, the magazine issue and all that sort of stuff. So whenever the magazine's coming out, the 2 weeks prior, and it comes out on the 15th of this month, so the 2 weeks prior is pretty hectic for me because I'm in front of the computer a lot, and not a lot of extra stuff will get done. So as I said, each week I am just going to work on one project. Now if you didn't see last week's video, which was episode 107, that has a mini whip parade, and that is going to be showing you all the whips that I am going to be working on throughout the next 12 weeks, because our bingo rounds only last for 12 weeks. Then we usually might have a break between, and then we'll start the next round. Now you get the prompt sheet prior to the next round so you can get all of your whips organized. So and we have lots of different prompts in there. Something might be, you know, stitch on something that has orange in it, or in this case stitch on something that has flowers in the chart, stitch on your favorite designer. All the prompts are sort of like that, and they're not too strenuous, and we only work on that one challenge for the week. We also have a sewing challenge as well for those cross stitchers out there that are interested in sewing. We also have that in that same short. We have the sewing one. So if you click on it on a Sunday, it goes up at 7 AM Australian Eastern Standard Time. If you click on that and it's mentioned sewing first, just hang around to the end of the short because it'll also give you your stitching prompt as well. All right, so as I said, we are looking at cinnamon stars today and what I got done, where I started and what I got done for the week. I didn't have a great stitching week. As I said, I've been doing a lot of prep and a lot of organising stuff in the background for the magazine. So we had to stitch on something that had flowers in it, and a lot of people are joining in this in our Facebook group. And as I said, I chose cinnamon stars for this prompt, and that's what the chart looks like. Okay, and I'll insert the picture of where I started so you can see that over my shoulder. And as you can see, we had to do the corn stalks, all the fence was done, the pumpkins are done, the sunflowers are done, and part of the stars are done, and all I really have to do is the stars coming out of the chimney and some of the bigger stars, the corn, and finish off the scarecrow. So just bear with me for a moment. I have a very cracky voice today, so I just need to have a sip of coffee. And I am drinking out of a Harry Potter or Hogwarts mug this week. All right. So I didn't really have a lot to do on this one. If I didn't have such a busy week, I think I possibly could have got this finished. But I did do a little bit more time than 30 minutes a day. I was just sort of sitting there talking to my husband and working on it. So I've pulled it out of the hoop so you can see. And as you've seen from the start, I have got a fair bit done. So I finished off the scarecrow, I've done all the corn, I've done the roof of the house, and I've done the wall of the house. So now I've just got some fill in. I do have a mistake here that I've just started to frog out. It's only 2 stitches are out of place, so I'll fix that up. I've got to finish off the chimney, and I do still have a line of the house to do, but I've run out of this floss, so I've got to order some of that. I thought I had another skein of it, but I don't. Not that I can find. Before I order anything, I want to go through all my whips and just make sure that I have not got any more before I order any more, because I'm sort of I don't mind if I order it because I've got a couple of other house ones from Plum Street Samplers. I think it's like autumn something or other. I don't know. I'll have to pull them out and show you next week of some of the other ones. I don't want to start them yet because I want to get some of my whips down, but I'm really happy with the progress I did. And as I said, I didn't really have a lot of time this week to stitch on this, but I got all of that done and all of this done. Now I only had the pants done and I think the arms of the scarecrow, so I just had to I had to do his hat and his hair and his feet. This little sunflower and this here all got done, so that's not too bad. And I didn't spend over like a lot of extra time on it. I probably done like 50 minutes, and one day I did like an hour and 10. I know that because I had the alarm set, and yeah, so I'm pretty happy with it. And I was watching TV and spending time with my husband as well, which made him happy, because at the moment we how did Rolanda put it, we're like ships passing in the night, because he's really busy over at the workshop and the price of fuel's gone up, and I'm really busy here. So we've gone back to our phone relationship and him here a couple of nights a week because he's over there getting a lot of stuff done. He's trying to clear up, we just had a big tree removed from over there, and he's also trying to tidy up the workshop so he can have more cars inside the workshop to work on. And he's just got a detailer to detail some of the cars that are ready for sale. So he's been super busy, and so sometimes we have to make compromises in our relationship where we spend a bit of time apart. But we have a very good phone relationship because for 10 years of our relationship, we've been together for 20 years now, just on 20 years, and I'd say 11 of those years he was away at work. So he's always been a truck driver. First of all, he was a boilermaker, so he was working locally, but then he got a job hauling boats, and so he done a lot of traveling all over the country in the truck hauling boats. And then he went to grain haulage, and that meant he could sometimes be away for, especially at harvest time, he could be away for 6-8 weeks at a time. So I'm okay with him being away. We have a very good relationship. We trust each other. There's no worrying that the house is going to fall down because he's not here or anything like that. We're both very capable, which is great. And it's not always the case for a lot of fly in fly out guys. They have issues with some of their wives, and their wives struggle with them being away looking after the children all the time, and it gets quite hectic and stuff like that. And I'm not saying it was easy. It wasn't easy, but we always have that time on the phone together and make sure that we spend some quality time talking. And then when he's home, we don't go out and socialize or anything. We just hang out with each other and whatnot. All right, so anyway, enough about that. That's sort of where I'm at this point in time. But when he's home, I like to sit with him and watch TV. So the next one is my Stitch With Me. Now, I haven't got any extra stitches done in this since the Stitch With Me. So if you've seen it, if you watch the Stitch With Me, you already know where I'm up to, but not everybody watches those. So I'm working on Snow Village for my Stitch With Me, and I am stitching on this until it's completely finished. We are up into this section now. So we've done the top row, we've done this one, and now we're moving on to this one. So that is it closer up. That's the little chart that I'm working on, and this is where I'm at. So basically what I'm doing now, because I've made some terrible counting mistakes in these when I'm been stitching and talking. So for the most part, what I do is I just map out an area. So you can see here I've only got half the leg, and then for the Stitch With Me I just go over the top. Excuse me. So I'm trying to get as much as I can done before I get onto the camera, and then that way I am able to just keep stitching along, and I don't have to count, and I do all the counting off camera when I'm by myself and no one's interfering. And do I still make mistakes? Yes, I do. But that's just the nature of cross stitch. So and a lot of people wanted to know what the name of this fabric was. The color is called Lagoon. It is a Zweigart fabric. It is 16 count, and it is hand dyed by me. I do dabble in a bit of fabric dyeing and whatnot, and this was a blue that came out when I was dyeing, and it's called Lagoon. It is actually a staple color, although I have none in stock at the moment because I'm waiting for supplies to come. before I can do a next big die. So yeah, so that is, yeah, just hand dyed by me. So if anybody is curious, now you know. All right, so that is all of the stitching I've got done. Now, I am a week behind in showing you what I've worked on. So that was week 2 that I showed you, which was Cinnamon Stars. Oh, and that was stitched on 28 count Monaco even weave. And it was bought, I purchased it like that. It was called Coffee, and I got it from 123 Stitch, and it came in. I didn't dye that myself. That's the color it came in. Now, as I said, I'm a week behind showing you what I've worked on, okay, because I started my Flosstube. It worked out that I ended up being a week behind. So on Sunday, just gone, we rolled the dice again, and week 3 is to stitch on for 3 hours or 300 stitches on a whip with a house in it. Now, I have pulled out all of my whips, and if you remember correctly from that episode, I said that I was going to put Huckleberry Farm, Cinnamon Stars, and the Village of Hawkerine Hollow. Now, they were the 3 charts that had houses in them. I'm pretty sure there was another one that had a house on it, but I didn't include that in it. So I put those 3 on the wheel, and I have spun that up, and we're going to cut to that video now so you can see what I am working on. Now, week 3 of my bingo spin was to work on a whip that has a house in it. And I have 3 that I've set aside: Village of Hawkerine Hollow, Cinnamon Stars, and Huckleberry Farm. So let's spin and find out which one I'm going to be working on for the prompt stitch on a whip with a house in it. So Huckleberry Farm is the one that has 1. All right, so that is what I'm going to work on. I've got to get 300 stitches or 3 hours into that over the week. Okay, so unfortunately, Cinnamon Stars did not spin up, so I couldn't continue on with that one. I don't think I'm going to have time to get any stitches into Cinnamon Stars, but I am going to work on Huckleberry Farm, and I'll just show you where I'm at with that one. It definitely has a house in it. This is stitched on 32 count Silver Ash, it's called, and I got this from, it's an even weave, and I got this from Sew It All Australia. And basically I haven't worked on this since September, and you've seen this last time I showed in the mini whip parade, but that's where we're at. So I am ready to start on the house. I do have a couple of more little things to do on page 1, but I can also start on the house. So I think there's only like about 15-20 stitches to do, and then page 1 is finished in this part, and I can do the vine, but I can always come back to that a bit later. So basically I only have to stitch on this for 3 hours this week, or 300 stitches. But I am going to endeavour to stitch on this every day for at least an hour, so I can get some extra stitches into it, because that will give me 7 hours in it. Now, obviously, you know, if time constraints are holding me back, then obviously I won't get that much in. But that is the goal. I'm going to aim for the goal. If I don't meet the goal, I don't actually really care, because I've still got stitches into it, but it's so beautiful. Now I am actually using CXC threads on this. I'm not actually using DMC. I have a ton of CXC, so I am, wherever possible, I am using that, and the colors are just divine in this. Blue Flower really does amazing work, and I'm aspiring to be as good as her with my designing, and this is just absolutely love it. I just love this piece. And I would work on it all the time, but I want to play along with the bingo this year. This will definitely come out in September. In September I'll be doing extra stitching because of Sample September, but we'll see how much I can get done in this week, and so you'll get to see where I'm at next week. All right, that is pretty much it for me. The short and sweet Flosstube this week. So we will be rolling the dice again on Sunday, so tune in for that at 7 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Instagram. If you're in our Facebook group, keep an eye out for Chrissy Stevens. She is the moderator over there that is taking care of sharing all of the shorts from both my booktube channel and also my craft channel. So keep an eye out there, give it a thumbs up as well so she knows that you've seen it. And yeah, and I look forward to seeing some of your stitching over on either Instagram or in the Facebook group, and check out the details down below for everything that I've talked about today. But that is it for me today. Have a wonderful day, everybody. I hope that you get lots of stitching in, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.